Good news, a student's catastrophic plot to blow up a school on the first day of classes. Police Chief Jane Castor says Jared Kano, a 17-year-old expelled student, had threatened to plant a device at Freedom High School. On Tuesday evening, police found a journal and materials to make pipe bombs, including a fuel source, shrapnel, plastic tubing, and timing and fusing devices. Officials say that journal, by the way, contains schematic drawings of rooms inside the school and disturbing statements about his intent to kill. They also found a marijuana growing operation. He faces felony charges of possessing bomb-making materials, cultivating marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, and threatening to throw, project, place, or discharge a destructive device. Joining me now is Tampa trial attorney Chip Merlin. Hi, Chip. How are you?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I am well. Okay, so this guy, Jared Kano, he's 17 years old. Chip, so will his age ultimately play a factor?
Well, certainly the prosecutors have got to determine whether or not they are going to prosecute him as an adult,
right,
or keep him in a juvenile detention and prosecute him as a teenager. You know, certainly he has a troubled past. He has some criminal involvement in the past. He's got some psychological problems that many of his friends are now coming forward talking about. He spent a lot of time thinking about how he was going to go about doing this particular act, writing in a journal, knowing exactly down to the minute of what he was going to do. And luckily what happened, and the police were very important to point this out, they thanked the community for coming forward with tips about somebody that they had already targeted as a person to watch out for at this school.
And Chip, it's astonishing, really, to hear these facts, and thankfully it was thwarted, as we learned by students. We have some sound now from one of the parents. Let's hear it, and we'll come back and talk.
Absolutely, it's the first day of school is scary enough. Even preparing this week is scary enough, but to try to deal with that and then hear about, possible bomb at the school, just it's unbelievable. It really hits home.
Yeah, and it's scary. So now we were talking about, you were saying, Chip, that they'll decide if he's going to be charged as an adult or a juvenile. What about his parents? Do they face any sort of criminal charges or any kind of culpability?
Well, certainly have culpability. Criminal charges typically not, because they aren't the ones that did the wrong act. But this is a surprising fact. His mother is a math teacher at a high school in Riverview, Florida. So it's amazing to me, just looking at it, given what her responsibility is with respect to other students, and that the fact she didn't even know that there was a marijuana growing operation going on in his room in her apartment is kind of amazing. But he came from a very dysfunctional family. These are problems that are going on, and frankly, they go on with a lot of teenagers. The good part is, since Columbine, a lot of the other school districts throughout the country have safety programs where they teach students to watch out for these types of things. They have practices of lockdowns and things like that. Ironically, on the day that he was getting arrested, his high school, Freedom High School, was going through their safety orientation at that very time.
So that takes me to my next point, and that is the school officials there at Freedom High. So apparently, as far as what we've been told and what has been discovered so far, that they have been and were doing the right thing there at the school.
Yeah, absolutely, but for that, maybe students might have turned him in as a tipster. Again, the police came out and thanked the community for indicating what was going on. But for that,
yeah,
and but for somebody's suspicion about what's going on in the community, maybe he would have had enough time to carry this out on the opening of school next Tuesday.